In the wide stone gate, several figures stand in it. The real Fenju. All Xiao Yan's achievements in Doqi continent are inseparable from Fenju's cultivation technique. Although it is inseparable from his own efforts and perseverance, who can say that there is no Fenju such as heaven and hell? The credit? Miss. Master, please enlighten me. Although Xiao Yan still didn't know what the master's so-called real Fenju was, he was in this unfamiliar new continent. Only strength is the best guarantee, and since he has to resurrect his ancestors to find his clan and his lover, strength is the most important thing. So Xiao Yan agreed without thinking. Boom, boom, boom. Xiao Yan saw that there was a mysterious scroll in Tuasha Goody's hand suddenly for no reason. Through the scroll, Xiao Yan felt the strange fire in his body, and even the things deeper in his body became more restless. All of this seems to be caused by the scroll in front of him. Master, this is this? Xiao Yan asked while holding back the strong shock in his heart, thinking that his master Tuasha Goody would definitely not harm him. This is the real burning judgment. Tuasha Goody said plainly. The real Fenju? At this time, Xiao Yan's heart was extremely shocked. When he was still in the Doqi continent, a trace of his soul left behind in the Doqi continent said that he was able to achieve this achievement because of Fenju, and Tuasha Goody had said before in Doqi continent that even if he was I don't know who created the burning Jew, now Emperor Tuasha is taking out another scroll called Burning Jew. How could Xiao Yan not be surprised? No wonder the strange fire in my body is so restless. No, it should be the Fenju in the deepest part of my body to be more accurate. At this moment, Xiao Yan felt that the Fenju in his body had seen it. When I saw the Fenju in the hands of the ancient Emperor Ta, I felt that the Fenju I cultivated was like a broken map, and the master seemed to have the most complete one. Does it feel incredible? Ancient Emperor Tuasha stared at Xiao Yan with a smile, as if the latter's every move and even the thoughts in his heart were all seen by the ancient Emperor Tuasha. The trace of soul left in Doqi continent was left when I was just promoted to Do Emperor. You only inherited my flame power, but did not inherit this complete cultivation technique. After 10,000 years, the memory of the clone and the cognition is only retained before I was promoted to Do D, and because it has been too long, I know relatively few things. I am now, but I'm the most complete soul force left in this world before I fell asleep. Ancient Emperor Tuasha said slowly to Xiao Yan. What Emperor Tuasha said was so clear. Xiao Yan understood it all at this time. Why did the ancient Tuasha look like he was hesitant to speak when he accepted the inheritance in the Tuasha Ancient Emperor Cave Mansion? It turned out that his memory was incomplete. The trace of the soul avatar of the ancient Emperor Tuasha in the ancient Emperor's cave on the Doqi continent only recorded the memory of the ancient Emperor Tuasha himself on the Doqi continent. So he didn't reveal too much to Xiao Yan at that time, because there was no way to talk about it. After all, the memory is incomplete, and there is no way to talk about it without the memory of the new world. After that, the ancient Emperor Tuasha broke through the Doqi continent and entered a new plane. All memories were not retained on the soul avatar of the Doqi continent. The ancient Tuasha in front of him was left by the ancient Tuasha who experienced the new continent. No, a lot of unknown secrets. Okay, hurry up, come over and feel the burning decision in my hand carefully. Ancient Emperor Tuasha looked at the disciple in front of him with a smile. The information returned from the soul power on the Doqi continent was very optimistic about this inheritance. Xiao Yan, the disciple who took up his mantle, nodded towards him quite satisfied. Staring blankly at the illusory black scroll in the hands of Emperor Tuashagu, Xiao Yan licked his tongue and said with a smile, "Although I don't know what will happen in the future, I really have a fate with you." After speaking, Xiao Yin raised a bright smile on his delicate face without hesitation. He took the black scroll in the slightly moved eyes of Emperor Tuasha. Just as the palm touched the scroll, a fiery, burning sensation came from the palm. Huh? Xiao Yin looked at the ancient Emperor Tuasha in confusion. Although Xiao Yin had already devoured several kinds of strange fires, this temperature was no problem. But Xiao Yin was afraid that something would change, so he turned to look at his master. Relax, this is Fun Ju checking whether there is any abnormal fire in your body, because the real Fun Ju, abnormal fire, is the basic premise of cultivation. Emperor Tuashi obviously saw Xiao Yan's incomprehension and spoke up. Road. On the black burning Ju scroll, a small flame flew towards Xiao Yan's body at high speed. At first, Xiao Yan felt that this flame was flying around in his body, but as time passed, he felt carefully. It seems that, as his teacher said, he is checking his body. When the flames drifted into the nashi that contained the strange fire in his body, he became quiet. At this moment, the secrets in his body were unreservedly made clear by this small cluster of flames. Knowing the situation, Xiao Yin was not in a hurry and immediately sat down with his legs crossed, letting the flames probe into his body. The flames withdrew from Xiao Yan's body after a few minutes, and then the scene of qi happened. The scroll in Xiao Yan's hand suddenly radiated a dazzling light, and an aura that made Xiao Yan pay homage to it, as if the world was overshadowed by it, burst out from the scroll, and even the ancient Emperor Tuasha and the Golden Dragon King felt the breath, and the corners of his eyes were a little wet, and then a message emerged in Xiao Yan's mind. This decision is called Burning Ju. It is divided into 6 realms. One is Burning Ju, burning the foundation. The second is Burning Ju, burning the soul. The third is Burning Ju, burning the body. 4 is Burning Heaven. 5 is Burning Earth. 6 is Burning God's Self, become the world. It is a practice created by the with all his strength, and it is the work I am most proud of. The value is immeasurable. Those who obtain this practice seek wealth and danger, a trace of heaven and a trace of hell. Hope those who are destined can get it in the event of a catastrophe. It can help the world remember it. A long and ancient voice slowly appeared in Xiao Yan's mind. Xiao Yan's eyes stared at the void in front of him, because the so-called founder of Fenju had the same rune on his forehead just now, and it was the ancestral mark of his Xiao clan. I believe you have also felt the trace of ancestral marks. I can only tell you now that the founder of Fenju does have a deep relationship with your Xiao clan, but if you want to find your clan, you must become stronger. Looking at the end of the meditation, Emperor Tuasha asked Xiao Yan, who had just opened his eyes. I have to figure out what's going on. Xiao Yan's thoughts were full of thoughts. Before, his Xiao family's Do Di bloodline suddenly fell. And where did his people on Do Di continent go? Many unknown mysteries still need to be found by oneself. Emperor Tuasha obviously knew something, but he didn't mention Xiao Yan, so the premise of all this was to have a strong strength. Xiao Yan sighed with emotion, and Fenju, who was deeply imprinted in his mind, thought on his own. Indeed, the end is also a new beginning. The Dochi continent we are in can only be regarded as a lower plane. If you have enough strength, you will be promoted to these upper planes. I was also burned to achieve the current me. I want to come from various residues. You should also know some of the founders of Fenju in the dialogue between you, and you should call him Shizu. Ancient Emperor Tuasha missed looking at the black scroll and bowed silently. Master, he must be the most peak existence in this great world, right? Xiao Yan from the self-created burning decision. You reading www.com, this claimed to be such words, plus his master's mouth. He could hear some clues. since his master was also the one who was burnt. The primitive god that just sounded in his mind should be the teacher of his master Tawashigudi. My own master. What you are really thinking is that back then I was a flame that was born between heaven and earth, and I had nothing to do with this great world. I just entered the Do Emperor continent, and I caused a lot of trouble because I didn't know the rules of this world, but I was fortunate to meet the master. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be today. Cough. It's better that you don't know many things, and you will naturally know when the time is right. Emperor Tawasha said a few words obviously in awe, with a kind smile on his face. The moistness of the corners of his eyes could not hide his miss for his master, and then he quickly changed his mouth as if Xiao Yin had discovered it. Since you have now obtained the complete burning judgment that has fulfilled my wish, and the teacher will have an explanation when he wakes up next time. Emperor Tawasha Gu sighed deeply. But there is one more thing that needs your help, or a mission, but it may be the best way for you to become stronger. Ancient Emperor Tawasha suddenly looked at Xiao Yin and the Golden Dragon King seriously. Master's orders must be obeyed. Master, please say it. Xiao Yin clasped his fists with both hands and respected the ancient Emperor Tawasha. You have to collect holy flames, and the more the better, because this is related to your Xiao family's bloodline and future wars. It is inconvenient for me to tell you in detail, but Xiao Jin will help you. Remember, you must not activate and use your clan pattern if your strength has not reached the level of fighting immortals. Tawashigudi said solemnly. Indeed, Xiao Yin felt a trace of blood from the fluctuation of Funju, and what the master said seemed true. The second is my request. Have you seen the Golden Dragon King in front of you? Tawashigudi suddenly said with guilt, and there were obviously other flavors in his voice. Tawasha, you and my brothers, you don't have to blame yourself like this. Since it was what I decided, I have never regretted it. The Golden Dragon King said to the ancient Emperor Tawasha. Even in the state of his soul, the eyes of the Golden Dragon King looking at the ancient Emperor Tawasha firmly, he did not move a bit. When our great 1,000 worlds retreated, if you hadn't led the Dragon Clan to support, where would there be such an old bone as me? Jinlong, you treated me like this, and it was a charge of betrayal of the whole clan. I really feel sorry for it. This time, I will let you my disciple Xiao Yin atones for me. I'm really sorry for you. Ancient Emperor Tawasha's eyes were full of guilt, and there was a hint of apology in his mouth. Brother, Xiao Yin muttered to himself. It seems that there seems to be a deep relationship between the Master and the Golden Dragon King. But now, although Xiao Yin is puzzled and does not ask many questions, he continues to listen to Tawashigudi said. Jinlong, you don't have to argue with me. Listen to me. My teacher and I have planted the seal of reincarnation, and we will wake up in the next battle. The most urgent task now is you. You must first recast your body, and then go to the Dragon Clan to clear the charges, and restore your strength to the peak in order to cope with the next catastrophe. The Master predicted before he fell asleep that the next time may be the final end. Good brother, it is the greatest luck to have you in this life. This time, it is my disciple to protect you. The ancient Emperor Tawasha sounded softly in Jinlong's mind. After all, nothing was said, and the brotherhood, needless to say, was in the hearts of the two of them. After comforting his good brother, Emperor Tawasha continued to talk to Xiao Yin. These two arduous tasks will be handed over to you. Xiao Yin, we believe that you will succeed. When you succeed, it will be the time for us to wake up. When that time comes, we will recreate the glory with you, and we will kill you together. Evil clan from outside the territory. Ancient Emperor Tawasha looked at Xiao Yin expectantly. This is a reward for you to be promoted to Do Emperor as a teacher. Jinlong, you should live in there and assist Xiao Yin in the future. A seemingly simple ring on his finger fell towards Xiao Yan's hand. This ring is called Emperor Flame Ring, and there is about 100 feet of space in it. There are some other medicine pills and fighting skills I have learned. There is also a space charm for first aid. When encountering an invincible enemy, quickly crush it, and you can escape far away, especially that extraterritorial evil race. In addition, I also kept the soul clone in the important mission I mentioned and some secrets you want to know. When you collect the corresponding strange fire or the strength reaches the corresponding level, you will gradually know it. When you are strong enough, you can know it by touching it with your soul. Remember to keep this ring safe. Emperor Tuasha said solemnly to Xiao Yin. Look at the 100 space in the ring. There are many things in the medicine scroll material. Xiao Yan's heart was violently shocked. The usual space for accepting the ring is only a few feet. Generally, there are special people who are better. Only those made of special materials have a space of more than 10 feet. If this space of 100 feet is put up for auction on the mainland, what kind of scene will it be? Of course, Xiao Yin is not really stupid enough to sell it. Then Xiao Yin said solemnly, "Don't worry, Master. I will definitely protect this ring." Is it an alien race? It seems that even his own master hates these people to the core. The black figure before should also be considered an alien race. The strength is really strong. Xiao Yin asked himself based on his current strength. It is impossible to beat him, but self-defense is not a problem. You are still young and have unlimited potential. My master and I both believe in you. My mission can be considered completed. This soul should dissipate. The illusory soul of Emperor Tuasha slowly turned into stars, dispersed with bursts of relief on his face. Respectful farewell to the master. Xiao Yin solemnly kowtowed 3 times at the place where the ancient Emperor Tuasha's soul avatar disappeared, and Jinlong looked at the disappeared soul of the ancient Emperor Tuasha and murmured to himself, "In that case, you are waiting for me, and I will also add a heavy touch to this world." After a long time, Xiao Yin, who was the first to react, clasped his fist towards Jinlong and said, "Senior, I don't know what we should do now." "Fuck, I'm your master's brother. I have such a youngest and a senior. I'm called Shizu." The golden dragon soul in front of him complained to Xiao Yin. "Master." "Yes, that's good." He laughed and got into the Emperor Flame Ring in Xiao Yan's hand. "I believe that Tuashi also told you just now that the real Fenju cultivation method has been recorded in your mind. Now I will tell you that our dragon family is a giant in this world. If you have a chance in the future, you will naturally know that I have not been to the Do-Chi continent of your lower plains, but I heard Tusha say that your lower plains call unusual flames different fires. Call these strange flames born between heaven and earth holy flames." The Golden Dragon King was entrenched in the ring and faced Xiao Yin. "Sheng Yin? I don't know what's the difference between it and my strange fire." Xiao Yin listened to what the Golden Dragon King said, and always felt that there was a slight difference between the two. It's really smart. Yes, there is a difference between the two. The so-called extraordinary fire is an ordinary flame, most of which do not have too high intelligence. As long as they can withstand its violent power, they can be subdued, but holy fire, Yin, is different. They have been cultivated to give birth to wisdom that is not inferior to human beings, and even the powerful sacred Yin has already established itself as a party's overlord. Xiao Yin listened to the Golden Dragon King and couldn't help but feel a little worried. Can such a powerful holy flame still be swallowed? But it's actually not difficult to conquer them. The Golden Dragon King smiled, clearly seeing Xiao Yan's worries. The more powerful the power, the more expensive the price. It is because of the sanctions of heaven and earth that we have a chance. You know, every monster or monster race, or a flame born from heaven and earth, has a long lifespan. But heaven and earth do not allow this kind of supernatural existence. So we made a rule that we must break through our own shackles every 100,000 years. The so-called baptism is 10 deaths and no life. Back then, when I was young and arrogant, I only realized how terrible the scourge was when I broke through a certain scourge. That time I thought it was the real death. It's me, the Golden Dragon King recalled. So it is, but the master doesn't have to blame himself too much, who is not frivolous when he is young. Xiao Yin listened to the Golden Dragon King in the ring and clearly felt the warmth spread to his fingers. The same is true of Yun Lanzhou. There are 36 species on the Holy Flame list. They are scattered throughout the world. Ordinary people only know that it can be swallowed up as an assistant for refining medicine pills, but they don't know that it is the nemesis of the abominable alien race. The 36 kinds of holy flames correspond to the 36 evil races outside the territory, and the existence of each source fire is an existence that can completely suppress the strength of the evil race outside the territory. The war 10,000 years ago was precisely because of these holy flames, and our great 1,000 worlds have given us tremendous help. The top 3 holy flames have all fallen into reincarnation and slumber. You know so much, and I will naturally explain it to you when you encounter it. The Golden Dragon King said solemnly, "Let's go. We should go too, and take you to see this great world." The Golden Dragon King looked at Xiao Yin with a smile. "How could I disobey your request, Tuasha?" Xiao Yin in front of him heard what the Golden Dragon King said. Although it was an understatement, Xiao Yin could feel the hardships of that battle. If that day really comes, I will do my best. Immediately, without being hypocritical, he strode out of the ancient cave. Dakian world? Just let me Xiao Yin come to meet you. Xiao Yin looked into the distance firmly.